Okay, right. Step one. Let's check the actual audio is working this time. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm going to wait for a yes in the chat. My technical competency is questionable. Right, we don't want to hear my voice back. Loud and clear. Yes. Thank you, Elaine. Now I hear the music. And not Dan. Yes, no, there shouldn't be any music. If you start hearing pendulum play, then something's gone catastrophically wrong. And I'm sure they'll be claiming the monetization on the stream. Oh my goodness. How's everyone doing? Oh, it feels like it's been forever. It probably has. We're going to do some pen tooling today. This is going to be real fun. So I've got something that you can see on screen. Bit of a challenge on the right hand side there, but we're going to put my skills to the test. Oh, I knew I was forgetting something. Hat. Got a new hat. My PT, my mate Liam, he got me this. I think he got it. Yeah, I showed it to you earlier. Did I? I swear I showed it to you. No, you didn't. You just scrubbed that from your brain. No, you didn't. He's got like a beige one, and I just, in passing the other day, I was like, oh man, that's such a cool hat. Where'd you get it from? And literally 5 minutes later, he's ordered me one, bless him. In black, as is my colour. He's a good egg. He is a good egg. Bet you want one now, don't you? No, I don't really like wearing caps. Liam, where's my hat? I hear two Dans. Oh no, that sounds horrific. Is it back to one Dan now? Holy shit! Someone's just given me $50. Oh wow! Are you serious? Oh, that's amazing. Oh my goodness! Thank you so much. Oh, you absolute legend. Thank you. 100%. I don't know where the gong is. Hang on. I will go and I am retrieving the gong for you. Wait, where's the gong stick? Somewhere. Is it called a gong stick? Somewhere. I don't know. I'm going to call it a gong stick. Everyone's going to see your pajamas. Yay. There we go. Still makes that lovely sound. No one's going to see my pajamas. They're hidden and out of shot, although they are especially funky. Psychedelic stormtroopers. Oh, wow. I wasn't expecting that. I just looked at the chat and saw this massive, like, pink thing. I don't know what to say. I wasn't expecting that. Wow. MXM, yeah. Also known as an absolute legend. Thank you. Oh no, is anyone else hearing double audio? No issue my end, single Dansky. No, it's fine on here. Glad to be back to some Dansky sanity. Sanity. Summer vacation finally. Nice. No issue on my end. All right, sorry Raquel, you're just gonna have to deal with double Dansky. Has she got to maybe refresh the browser or something, because at the beginning I think I had set something wrong and I've changed it since, so maybe it's just not updated. You might have two windows up. Two windows. Oh, I did that before. Yeah, just check. You've got the stream up twice. I know you're keen, but you found the error. I found the error. What was it? I gotta know. I reckon two windows. Yeah. Oh, you had it playing on Discord. Oh, that counts. That still counts. Playing twice. See, that is dedication. I appreciate that, Raquel. Oh my goodness, I can't see anything. My eyesight is horrific. Okay, we're gonna need eyesight for this. So I did a video, when was it? Yesterday or the day before? I don't know. I forget. Days, time, it all just blends into each other. But it was about the pen tool, and I used a technique that I use all the time. And a few people commented, and they were like, "Oh, I think you should check out the clock method, which is kind of similar to, I think, the 90-degree method. It's kind of got different names, but it's a good other way of pen tooling that I never really used that much. I think I heard about it years ago, and then just dismissed it. And I just have a tendency to just get it done and focus on whatever kind of method gets the job done. But actually, it's an incredibly useful technique because it takes a bit of the guesswork out of knowing where to put the anchor points. It's a bit weird. It's a bit weird at first, but that's what I'm going to kind of play around with today, because I think, I mean, clearly, even if you've been using Illustrator for years, or if you're a beginner, it just makes pen tooling a lot easier. So we've got a bunch of different characters, and we're going to work our way up. You can think of these like levels in a game. This fella over here, this G, this far right G, is going to be the final boss. And we're not just trying to recreate this. We're going to pen tool every single freaking line, and we're going to aim for, well, as close to perfection as possible. So yeah, this should be pretty good. If you've never used the pen tool before, it's fantastic for drawing custom shapes, but it's also like a nightmare tool. Almost, I guess you could say, a bit of a meme at this point. People hating the pen tool is just like a ha ha ha. But you can click with it, and you can just do straight line dot to dots by single clicking. And at the moment, this is an open path. So it's just kind of got a start and an end, but they're not connected. And then if we hover over that first point, you can see we get a circle next to the pen tool. And then if we click that, it's now a closed path. And then we've got clicking and dragging. So slightly different. So maybe I start with a click, 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 straight line dot to dot, and then I click and drag, and you can draw out something that's known as a Bezier curve. So I never use that word. I've never called them that. The term Bezier, I've just never really used that in my vocabulary when talking about anything. But yeah, that's what they are. And you can draw all sorts of custom shapes, but it's very easy to make things go wrong. I don't know what we're doing here. But as you can see, you can use the pen tool to combine straight lines and curved lines. Let's just give him a little face. There we go. That is a demented fish. So with the pen tool, you can create, once you learn the pen tool, it's worth learning. You can create things very easily, like a heart, for example. So I'll show you how to do this in a minute. This is like a nice warm up. Half a heart. There we go. O for the reflect tool. Click. Boom, boom. Join together. And there you go. And you can kind of play around with that. So it's worth learning because it can just make, do you know what I mean? Like there was a point where I would have to go online and look up a heart tutorial. And I've got some heart tutorials, and I'd love for you to go and watch them and add to the view count and leave a comment, but you shouldn't have to. Like, this is the stuff that you can just very quickly, boom, I need a heart. Boom, I need a, I don't know, cloud. I need a letter. I need a this. You can just create it really quickly and easily. So it is kind of a dreaded tool, but it's one that's definitely worth learning. Have you ever used Affinity tools? Yeah, we're going to do a stream on that soon. We've talked about it. We've flirted with the idea of an Affinity stream, and we're going to dive into it because I know some people who join have switched to Affinity, and or they're making the switch to Affinity because I think the costs of Adobe stuff's going up again. And breathe. So we're gonna do that, and it's fun as well. It helps me kind of become more familiar with the software. I'm Adobe born and bred, and I have been for years, so I'm used to it. So it's good for me to play around with something else, because unless you kind of really get stuck into it, when you're already familiar with one bit of software, you might dip your pinky in the Affinity pond, but unless you spend a good amount of time there, it's easy to learn a few things and then forget it by the time you come back to it. So yeah, we're going to do that. We might even do that this week, actually. Yeah, Elaine, the pen tool can be really challenging. And it's interesting as well, you know, when people pointed out this other method, they called it the clock method. But then some people, I think, call it the 90-degree method. I feel like it's sort of the same thing, but it's different to how I create shapes. And so, you know, you never stop learning. Hey, Eduardo. The heart tip. Yeah, so this is a warm up with the heart one. So I'm going to walk you through this one step by step, because I feel like hearts are a very common icon to create. There's loads of ways you can do it. I've got a tutorial on the channel actually that is no pen tooling, and it's my favorite way to create a heart, and I'm really proud of it because it's one that I completely figured out myself. I didn't have to learn it from anywhere or anything. I was just intent on coming up with a technique to create a heart shape that you could edit and fine-tune everything, but you didn't have to have any skill. So I got it. So there is a video on the channel that is a like no skill, no pen tooling way to create a heart. But for this one, we're going to click and drag and draw out our first curve. We're going to hold shift to snap it to a 45-degree angle. And this is another technique that I never really use. You can hold down Alt or Option while you're dragging out this curve, and you can redirect the flow of the path that you're going to draw next. Now, I've just never done this. I've always literally kind of, you know, I'll do that and then click to cut, follow up with straight ones, and then do a curve. So I've never really redirected it, but you can actually do this. So we're going to click and drag holding shift, hold Alt or Option, and we're going to redirect this. Still holding down everything. And you want to try and line up those two solid blue control points at the top. So we'll get those horizontally aligned. And then it kind of, you can see it offshoots this curve now in that upward and to the right direction. And generally when pen tooling shapes, the goal is to use as few anchor points as possible. The fewer anchor points you use, the easier it is to make changes and the more control you've got over it. If you've got loads of anchor points, you might get lumpy, inconsistent, jiggity, jaggedy, wonky curves. And if you want to make a change across like an entire section, well, I'll show you in a minute actually with the heart. So we're going to make this with just 2 anchor points. So we're going to hover down here and click and drag. So we're going to draw the half, this first half a heart. And this obviously depends on the shape you're going for. So we've got this. And then we're going to press O for the reflect tool. Hold Alt or Option and click on this point and reflect it vertically. Now that looks a bit rubbish, but the great thing about having a heart is we can actually select everything and press S for the scale tool. And it's one of those shapes that we can fine tune quite a lot and contort and do all sorts of weird and wonderful things to get a better heart. Now I don't really like that. The dip isn't coming down low enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and fine tune that. So maybe pull it, maybe lift it up a little bit higher there. Make that a bit steeper, and we'll just reflect that again. There we go. That's a bit better. Pathfinder tool to combine both shapes together. So this is now just one single shape, and then S for the scale tool. And like I say, you can have like very stylized hearts if you want to kind of have something like this or a bit wider, or if you're doing something for a UI, you know, you probably want like a nice clean heart like this. So it's pretty quick and easy to do that. Let's get rid of our crazy fish. And we'll leave the lovely old heart up there. Yes, I will do, Marco. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Right, let's get some music on. Let's get some music on. And I haven't prepped this either. Like I had a practice with this one earlier, but these other ones, I'm going to try out this slightly different technique in combination with my own. I got no idea if I can do this one on the end. Theoretically, I should be able to. But we'll see. Wish me luck. Meh. Right. Okay, so when it comes to this technique, what you want to do is try and position these anchor points. I think the clock technique is essentially about having your points positioned at 12, 3, 6, and 9. So you're sort of thinking about it in the context of a clock. This is a bit trickier because it's italicized. But one way that I find is a bit simpler to think about it is you want to position your anchor points at the extreme point of the curve. So in this case, you see it comes all the way down here, curve, 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 curve. And then it gets to this point where it's flat. And that point where it flattens out or it changes direction. So if the curve did that, the point where it changes direction, which would be what, about here? This is where you want to put your anchor point. So this bit here where it flattens out, there, that's going to be an anchor point. We're going to do it on the left. So it goes up here and then there. That's going to be our next one. Up here, somewhere around there. And this obviously is not an exact science, but we're doing this by eye. So in theory, this is where our 4 anchor points should go. And we can just create this shape with just those 4 points. We could try it with 2 as well. We'll try that afterwards. Does that first part make sense? Just before I go ahead, I just want to double check that what we're doing is we're creating those anchor points where the curves either change direction or where they flatten out. Warren! He has returned! Warren has returned to us!
Finally!
Warren has returned to the fold.
I love Warren!
Okay. Right. Nobody said yes, that they understood that, but I'm going to go ahead anyway. Oh, okay. Brilliant. All right. Sorry, I'm just being impatient. Great demo. Makes so much sense if it's easier. Yeah. What we're going to do as well, Elaine, is this is a pretty straightforward example. Some of these look quite horrible and complex. So you'll see the application of this in these other shapes. As long as I get it right, I'll do my best. Hey, Moosh. Moosh. Hey, you're welcome, Michael. You can use the guides for placing the anchor points. I don't see why not. Do you mean, Raquel, do you mean in terms of this? So kind of just bringing out some guides. Oh, I suppose that does kind of make it easier, yeah, because you can sort of see then exactly where that point is. Is that what you meant? I always use the clock method. Okay, right. So this is something that I need to practice more. So you're going to be useful. So tell me if I've understood this correctly. When I'm placing the points, oh, I've mucked that guide up there. Hang on. There we go. Right, so when I'm placing these points, even with this one being italicized, I'm thinking about my 12, my 3, my 6, and my 9, yeah? Is that correct? Have I understood that correctly? So we're always kind of, essentially, it'll make a bit more sense in a minute, but when I'm creating this line, that's going to be pointing towards 12 and 6. This one here is going to be pointing towards 3 and 9. And we're going to stay horizontal or vertical. Yeah, okay, cool, good. Right. Okay, if you hate the pencil, I think you're going to like this. So, first point. So what we're going to do is we're going to place our first point up here. And we're going to click and drag. Now, we don't want to do this. The whole idea behind this technique is that you're going to hold shift and we're going to snap it horizontally or vertically. So we're going to do that. And even if the curve looks awful at first, it's the placement of the point that is the important bit. So we're going to do the second one here. Again, we're not doing this. We're holding shift and we're snapping it. And we're going to push it up. And what you'll typically get, if I make that thinner, just so you can see, you'll get something like this and it won't line up or whatever. But what we can do is press A for the direct selection tool and grab these handles. Now, when we adjust the handles, same principle. We're not doing up or down. We're not doing this. We're just holding shift and we're keeping the handles, effectively this bezier at the top, we're keeping it flat, horizontally or vertically. So, ooh, what's going on there? So maybe I'll pull this one out and then maybe pull this one down. And then maybe I'll pull this one out a bit more. Shorten this one, or maybe that one. And it does take a little bit of fiddling around with it to try and get these correct. And I can always move the anchor point up and down if I need to as well. Whoa. Smart guide's being a bit snap happy. And I feel like this is the kind of thing that will get faster as well with more time. There you go. That's pretty good. So as long as you keep the beziers and these control points horizontal or vertical, it's going to make things a lot easier. Right. So now, let's get rid of the guides for a second. We've got to go and place another one. So we'll click on this. Right. Okay, this is where I went wrong. If we click on this, what it does is cut it and it wants to follow that up with a straight line. So instead we have to click and drag holding shift, and then it will kind of follow that up with another curve and we get that handle as well. So where was my other point here? So we're clicking and dragging, holding shift. We're not getting it first time, but that's okay because using the direct selection tool, we can fine tune all this. So I can pull it in there, pull it down. I think I'm going to make like another follow-up video on this because this is a very useful technique for beginners, and even if you've been using Illustrator for years, like I have, like it does make life a lot easier. So then this next one, right, hang on. Let's click and drag, there we go. So we create that point, clicking and dragging with shift. And then, yeah, clicking and dragging with shift. This one looks like, there we go, easy peasy. And then we'll just connect that up, again, dragging with shift. And if it doesn't line up here, this is where we use the direct selection tool and these handles. And normally when you've got like, if you're tracing something, especially if it's a sketch, you might not want to stick perfectly to the sketch because of course the sketch might be rough. So at some point it's good to, like I've got this on separate layers, at some point it's good to hide that and then just work on your final version, you know? But because we're using clean vector shapes as a tracing, we're effectively just tracing this. it's quite good because the challenge here doing this is about getting it as perfect to the lines as we can. And not only getting it tight to the lines, but actually doing it in a way that creates as few anchor points as possible that we can actually edit. Is this what you do to practice? No, normally like this technique isn't something that I've done an awful lot of. Like I think I might have watched some videos on it a few years ago and thought, nah, just carried on doing it the way that I had always done it. Which, to be fair, as you probably know, is like I obsess over the details, I get the job done, and I get it looking precise. So that's the main thing for me. But actually, especially if you're new to Illustrator or you have been designing for years and you just want a way to easily create, like, you know, just make your life easier, this technique is really, really useful because there's a bit more of a like a system behind it on where you place the points that can kind of remove some of the guesswork. Yeah, is that the blah 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 the Bezier game, I think. Yeah. So I think in that game, if you've got like 10 anchor points to use and you do it in 10, but the best attempt at that might be 8. It's because there's a shape that's been able to be created with fewer anchor points. I recall the handle endpoints should not extend past the boundaries if you imagine a rectangle around your geometry. Oh, I see. So maybe this one here, overshooting slightly. Oh, you've got an eye for detail. I appreciate that. Right on the line there, I think. I think the rest were good. But that's really good to know, thank you. Okay, so shouldn't ever do that. Okay, right, let's try and do the middle. We'll try and do this one with 2 points here. So let's find the extreme point, which is here. So it kind of comes in, flattens, and then we're going to find that same point down here. So I reckon about there. And we're just going to drag out a curve. This is kind of another way that you can do it to save anchor points as well. So obviously we can't really bend this with just this one point, but there is a tool called the anchor point tool. This is one that I use probably a bit more. And you can use this to kind of contort shapes around a bit. And then direct selection tool to bring it in. So you can see here, we're sort of ignoring all of the, you know, stay vertical, blah, blah, blah. This is how I've just worked for years. At the end of the day, for me, as long as I get a smooth curve, I don't care how I got there. But this technique is too good to ignore. Yeah, so something like that. And then we could just go and draw another one. Drag it out. And then it's just a combination of the direct selection tool and then the anchor point tool, which is Shift C on the keyboard. You can try and stretch that into position. So I'm just going to switch between these tools. This method, I guess, is more you eyeballing it a bit more here. But ultimately, the goal with this, you know, we did that in 2 points instead of 4. So if you can do it in fewer points, it makes editing easier sometimes. So let's thicken this up. We'll go for 1. And swap it around, knock it out. I think we can declare that a victory. How's that? Pretty smooth, right? Okay. This next one, if I were to actually create this normally, because of the font style, it's Nicanely normal. I would probably just do this. Round the cap and then, you know, pen tool. And then do some other pen tool or pencil tool nonsense and do it all as a stroke. But that's no challenge. We're going to go around the outside with the pen tool. That's going to be a lot harder. So I think because this font has a consistent width all the way around, this is Nick Hanley normal. It's better to make it as strokes, but we're pen tooling today, so. Oh, interesting. It's using the anchors to fix letters. Is that another game? Yeah, I've played the Bezier game, and I think there's a kerning one, but I've not done that one. I want to, though. Hey, Anouar. Right, what are we doing? Pencil. Okay. So this one's a little bit different. So we're going to make our first point down here. And because it's on an angle, it's kind of tricky making a vertical point here. Whoops. Let's let's make that a bit smaller. Because then, you know, we're straight onto a straight line. So what I would do here in this example is make my first one here, where that curve kind of flattens out, and then go up here to where again, it sort of, we're going from curve to flat. So my second one's going to be there. But I'm going to extend this out along the angle of the letter. Like this. And then we're going to do, we're going to do this. We'll do another one here. Again, where it flattens out. Going to follow the angle of the letter. And then, of course, we've clearly got to make some adjustments. So this one here has only got a handle on one side. So there we go. That's something we can do, is we can convert it. And then you can see now I've got both handles. Any problem is I want to flatten this now. There we go. Okay. So that bottom one, we're keeping that perfectly horizontal where we can. But these ones we're going on an angle. And then here, I'm maintaining the same angle kind of up here. So we're not doing this, you know, because I want this to be a straight line all the way up. It's a bit of an odd font. Let's make this thinner now so we can really see how good or not good I'm doing with this. So we're going to bring that up and then bring this one out. Bring that one out a little bit more. Maybe bring that up. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And we're just going to bring it up there, keeping that angle consistent. And then now it's just a straight shot all the way to the other end. So we can go all the way up here. Hey, Dan from Kenya. How's it going? So then that. So this is where the straight line stops. The next curve starts. And flattens there. Click and drag. And then where does it get straight again? Right there. So again, we're just following the geometry of the shape here, rather than like sticking to the vertical. So there we've got, I think we've got the anchor points in the right place. And then it's just a case of adjusting them. So pulling one and then the other. Yeah, that's pretty good. So you can see perfectly smooth all the way through. And we're just keeping them flat, horizontal or vertical, like completely straight where we can. but sometimes you are just going to get angles and points that just don't follow that. So it's a straight shot all the way down there. And sometimes thickening up everything can kind of highlight where parts aren't smooth. But, you know, as a first pass, that's pretty tight, I think. Absolutely, Meow. If you've got a question, you fire it on out there. Hey, Philip. Yeah, the shape one is different. It's a fun challenge. Check it out for sure. Oh, yeah. If you've got a link, Moosh, please post it in the chat. In the Discord, sorry. Anyone recall the modifiers to slide an anchor point along a line? Ooh, that's interesting. Normally what I do is, if you do it like this, it can sometimes go a bit all over the place. So you can if you're careful. But in outline mode, it's much easier. Much easier. It's just a bit less sensitive, I think. In fact, actually, while we do that, outline mode, it's a good, you know, you can see how closely we've got it. Slightly off here. I think maybe there's like a slight thickness in the letter there, which I didn't even notice. I thought it was all the same width, but there we go. Okay, right. This is where it gets harder now. Let's try and speed this one up. So we're going to go all the way up here. And then maybe a little bit further. And okay, we're going around a corner now. So where is the flat point? This is where it gets tricky. The top. So I guess we could put it here. And then we're just kind of keeping this line, I think, at a tangent. If that's the right way to use that terminology. This is like a tangent line, almost, to these other points that I'm going to create here. So curve, 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 and then straight. And then we should be able to pull this up. Pull this up. So again, this kind of becomes our new flat line. So if you've got the top of the other K was like that, and this is our anchor points along there. Now, because we're working at an angle, we're still trying to do it kind of with the same technique, but we're just kind of angling everything to match the geometry. Now, whether that's technically correct for this particular technique, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty confident just looking at this, it would get the job done. Just got to pull you up a little bit. Pull you in a bit. Hey Dan, in 23, I had a paid Illustrator tutorship. It was one trick I sadly forgot what the key combination was, if I remember correctly. When using the pen minus tool on an anchor point, when pressing S additionally, what's that one? The curve would be kept intact. When using the pen tool minus on anchor point, when pressing... Okay, so pen tool minus... Oh, I think I know what you mean. Yeah, like this. Shift. That right? I mean, there you go. There's another way of doing it as well. You can see there I just removed that point. And we've then now got the same thing, but with just 2 points instead. So yeah, with the pen, with the, what's it called? Delete anchor point tool. Just hold shift and click on a point, and then it will try to connect what's between it. Is that the one? Yeah. Yeah, this one's not too smooth here, although I think the anchor point might be a bit off actually. Yeah, there we go. I've got the anchor point a bit off. So we'll pull you up and we'll pull you in. Right. Down the other side. Okay, here, right. We look like we're back to like a more regular curve now. So again, we're going down here, here. Flattened. So I'm going to place my anchor point there. Right, okay. This is where it gets somewhat tricky. So there's another change in direction around about there, I think. So let's do this one first. This kind of meets at a point here, so this is just going to be straight up like that. Now, what about this one? Yeah, this is where it gets tricky, because if I move one, it kind of throws this one out here. Hey, Dilshan, how's it going? So this is probably where I'll try and use the anchor point tool. Oh, that still moves it as well. I might just need a shorter point, maybe. There we go. So we're holding shift to keep that perfectly straight. Oh, that's pretty close. Did you say yay? Yay! Cha-ching! Okay, another flat one here. So nice and easy. Drag that out. We may as well just go and place our next one. So up, 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 up. It's going to be all the way to the top here. Click and drag. Again, this is at an angle, so we're going to try and match that angle. And then just use these. Oh, that was far too easy. That was almost disappointing. Oh yeah, this is another way. So yeah, if you end up with like an anchor, a control handle here on one side, but not the other, you can use the anchor point tool, Shift C, to click and drag on it, and then it will create those handles either side. So effectively, it kind of converts that from what would it be called technically? Yeah, a corner to a smooth corner. Although now I've kind of screwed all this up as well. Bring you in. Ah, right. Hang on. This one. No, this one here. I'll keep this down. Keep that perfectly straight. Yeah, there you go. You can see it's just fiddling around. And I feel like once you learn the technique, the biggest challenge is going to be like you can practice with these same letters, but the biggest challenge is going to be probably what you'll see me do at the end, which is going to be like, oh, I've never done this letter before. Here's a very difficult curve. How do I apply this to something that hasn't been visually demonstrated? So, okay, right. There's the extreme point there. So where it flattens out or changes direction. So it's coming back round here. There we go. We're going to follow the geometry of the letter and then just pull the handle. Yeah, nice. Right, what's this one? This is a curve as well. So actually, I think this is straight for a bit. Yes, okay, we'll go down to about there, I think. And then it goes into a curve, which hits about here. Yeah, maybe just missed that slightly. Come on, come on. Yes, you beauty. And it wants to continue this. Don't worry about the curve when you do this. It's the placement of the anchor point that's going to make life easier or harder. So curve, 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 curve. Flattens out there. Click and drag holding shift. So we're keeping it vertical. I'll show you the points in a minute so you can see. If anyone's got any questions, by the way, please do shout them out. Hopefully this is helpful and making sense. So in outline mode. Yeah, so see this bottom one, horizontal, 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 vertical, vertical, vertical. These ones here are at angles sometimes because just depends on the letter. You know, sometimes you can't stick to vertical and horizontal. Oh, thank you, Elaine. like. Great techniques. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to definitely make a video covering this. It definitely does help take some of the guesswork out of where to put the points. And sometimes if you place the points in the wrong place, you know, you're kind of you're stacking the deck against yourself, you know, because then you're trying to fine tune a curve with the anchor point placement being incorrect. So like I say, I've only been playing with this for less than 24 hours and, you know, I'm like, yeah, this is a good technique. So we're going to kind of match that there. And follow that there. And then we just got to pull this in. So that's the main thing when adjusting these points is we're not mucking up the angle. You know, we don't want to go doing this. We want to keep it along this line here. Pull it in. Oh man, I could fiddle around with this for flipping ages. And this little bit here could be that I've got the anchor point placement slightly off. So let's just try moving it slightly. Yeah, there we go. Almost. Almost. That's close enough. That's close enough. Okay, right. We've got a straight bit here. Then a curve. So again, this is gonna... Ooh, where am I gonna put this one? Flattens out about there. So we could do something like that. And then do another one kind of here. Holding shift again. So you see horizontal, vertical, where you can. Right, last one. So close. We're so close. Have I... Oh, hang on. Ooh, did I put that in the wrong place? Maybe I should have gone a bit lower. and then follow the angle. Keep this one here horizontal. Yeah, that's better. There we go. That's I don't know what that is. That's just Illustrator being a knob. Just ignore that. I'm not going to give you the attention you want, Illustrator. So, okay, maybe this one as well. Maybe I'll take that up to the point where it's flat. And instead, maybe I'll angle that to match the geometry of this part of the letter. Because then I can just connect these two with a straight line. And I've just got to make sure this one's angled, but I'll keep this one flat and drag out with shift. There you go. Is that going to work? Yeah, there we go. Just trying to make sure I get the angle right. I might have to bring the point a bit lower. Oh, it is a lot of flipping fine tuning. But it is quite fun. And then we should just be able to connect those, Command or Control J. Oh, I think well, let's have a look first. Let's not get carried away. I'm going to say I think that's a win. How are we looking? Pretty tight, I think. Does anyone have any questions on this particular technique? You got any questions?
No, but I gotta get ready to work.
Do you like my K?
That's a lovely K. Oh, that's like an H. A line and an H. I'll shut up.
You're just insulting my work. We've just spent about 10 minutes making that. You're just saying that now. You see what I got to deal with? Yeah, oh, mad respect for type designers. The subtleties in these curves are astounding. Yeah, I can see it's quite enjoyable as well, actually. It's quite enjoyable. Like, obviously, yeah, I can imagine you could really, really obsess over this stuff. But it's nice having something that's a bit more theory-based to fall back on. Like a lot of the time when I'm working on something, oh child, a lot of the time when I'm working on something, I'll just have something I'm trying to trace or create, and I'll just go blah 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 blah. Oh yeah, that looks terrible, Dan, and then just grab handles and just do this, do that, and just do whatever to get it in position. Like, I think I've always been very much more just hands-on and get it done rather than theory-based. Even at the start of my career, like, I didn't go to uni, and I think I missed out on like a lot of the theory, but in place I had, 3 years of hands-on working in the industry. So it's, I guess that's the sort of trade-off, isn't it? Please add this to your course. It's so helpful. 100%, Elaine. There is a lesson being cooked up as we speak. In fact, that's the goal with the courses. I'm just going to keep adding to them. There's so much stuff I would love to have just packed in. Even as I was making it, I was like, oh, I could teach that and that and that and that and that, and it just ended up becoming ridiculous. So I'm going to calm down and over time just methodically add new lessons. So how to make that one shape? Oh, what, this K here? A single shape. Yeah, so in Illustrator, if you've got shapes that aren't actually connected, it will treat them as two separate shapes unless you make them a compound path. The easiest way to demonstrate how this works is if I throw a gradient on here, you can see that a gradient gets applied to every individual shape. So even if I unite them together, right? I've united them. This is now one shape technically, but the gradient is still being applied to each individual segment. If I were to go in there and add another piece to it, you know. So how do you get the gradient to run through the whole thing, or just have Illustrator treat multiple shapes as one shape? You go to object and you just, I honestly, I cannot do these menus with a pen display. And you choose compound path, Command or Control 8. And then Illustrator will treat that group of shapes as a single shape. You can still double click to go inside, and you can see up here, we're in the compound path. And we can go and make changes. It's funny actually, as you make those changes, you can kind of see how the gradient changes in real time and then come back out of it. No worries, no worries. Yeah, so if you wanted, in fact, a good use for compound paths is this one will trip a lot of people up, and it drove me nuts for a long time. So we've got black shape, and then we've got white shape, and then we'll do another white one. And well, we'll see if they've patched this. I don't know if they have with an update, but I want to knock out these two shapes from the black shape. Let's throw a color behind just so we can see what's going on. So if I want to knock out both these shapes from the black shape, you know, you might select everything and go minus front. Okay, so they've changed how that works. Right, so what that would normally do is it would just knock out one of those shapes. Usually the one which is on top, and it would just get rid of the other shape. They've obviously changed it now, I think, so it will minus front both of them. But before, what you used to have to do was turn all of the white elements, for example, into a compound path. And then when you would do the minus front operation, Illustrator would treat that as one white shape rather than two separate shapes. Does that make sense? But that entire explanation was pointless because they've clearly updated that. You're welcome. Anyway, right. Okay. 2 for 2, I reckon. We got another K. I don't know if I could be asked to do another K. It's 4:15 already. We've spent like an hour doing 2 letters. Should we go straight to the final boss, or should we do another K, slightly different? You tell me. Oh yeah, 100% Fritz. Yeah, normally with this one in particular, if you can draw it with strokes, amazing, because you get more control. But this whole thing is about pen tooling, so we're doing it all to build confidence and skills with the pen tool. If you can do it with some nasty letter like this, then pen tooling any sort of graphics, icons, illustrations is going to seem comparatively a lot easier. So final boss, another K. Let's get to the G. Right, I'm sorry, we're going to have to do a poll. We'll do a poll. And I can sip my coffee. Oh, I can't type. K or G. That G, yeah. I'm just asking because I feel like that G is going to take a while and a number of my brain cells. Oh, you're welcome, Rick. And hello, by the way. Yeah, like normally what I would do, the way I would create this, I would probably, you know, in reality, I would use a whole bunch of tools just because I've been using the software for so long. You know, I would just do stuff like this and just bang things out like that. It's just almost automatic. So it's nice to restrict myself to having to use and develop my skill with a very particular and useful technique. We're going straight to the G. Sorry, extra K. I feel, yeah, we've kind of done that anyway. You know, a lot of these straight lines are very easy and sort of pointless. All right, final boss. Need some different music. Okay. Oh, I should probably mention that I have a course, shouldn't I? There's that lack of marketing ability coming in again. Okay. Where is it? God, it's been so long. Puppy! Where's the course?
I don't know.
Oh, hang on. I've not even. Oh, hang on. I've not even done the proper links. I'm such an idiot. Normally, I put them in the stream description, and I've forgotten. So I'm just going to really quickly add them and hope that nobody notices. Oh, nice bit of sleep token. Landing page.
I can get some shoes on this toe.
Huh?
See if I can get some shoes on this toe that I've probably broken.
Oh, yeah. You said you broke your toe earlier. Have you actually broken it?
I think I have.
You flipping lemon. Poppy thinks she's broke her toe.
I've broken it like several times now.
You're a donut. Do you know that? You're a little donut, aren't you? Oh, hello. Is there a cat?
Hello.
Do you think he's being fed? Oh, poor boy. Okay, right. I'm pasting the link into the description. Hopefully it's the correct link. I should probably check. Yes, it is. I did a marketing. All right. I'll see you. Oh, wait. I will see you later, actually, won't I? Yeah. Okay. Okie dokie. What? Wait, what am I getting?
Deep tissue.
A Swedish tissue.
Deep tissue, back, neck and shoulders.
I'll have a Swedish tissue, please. What is that? What is? Can you slide him over here? Because he's gonna. Come on. You come and sit with me. Bye. Sorry, it's all going on right now. We've got the cat here now. You come to say hello. Eh? Noisy bugger, aren't you? Okay, so if you're interested in checking out the Illustrator Masterclass, there is, if you refresh the stream, there should be links in the stream description. And there's also a link to sign up for 30 days of actionable advice. So it's 1 email per day, free. You can unsubscribe anytime. And it's basically just stuff I've learned over the last 20 years, you know, so how to pick fonts, how to pick colors, just a bunch of useful things from my brain downloaded into 30 emails. So, you know, it's free to sign up, and I've had some really good feedback on it. So if that sounds good, there is a link in the description as well to sign up to that. Yeah, the curvature tool can be very useful as well. It's kind of almost like an easy mode for the pen tool. Although the pen tool does get a lot, the pen tool does get easier the more you use it. Like I really just, I very rarely use the curvature tool. Just because I've got pretty good with the, you know, they've got the pen tool, we've got the anchor point tool, we've got the pencil tool, smooth tool, direct selection tool. So I can usually get done what I need to, but I do have a video on the curvature tool because it can be quite useful. It kind of depends how you like to work as well. I feel like everyone's brain is slightly different. I mean, not obviously, Dan, but you know, how we like, you know, one technique might be slightly better than another technique, but someone might actually find it easier for their brain to process it, you know? Like some people will do their thing, go, oh yeah, curves, da 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 da. That's my curves. Whereas other people will find it easier to kind of place their points down and then use the anchor point tool to then draw the curve out that way. I like it, just depends really. Do the G with circles and the width tool. No. I'm going to do the G with, I'm going to do the whole thing with the pen tool. Normally, I would use circles, yeah, because those are almost circles, not quite. The width tool for this sort of stuff can be a bit hit or miss. This bit here, normally I would pen tool that as one line, and I would try and use the width tool, probably expand it, and then try and do some other stuff to the path. But I'm going to pen tool both sides. That is the challenge. That's why this is the final boss. Are you confused, sir? Yes, always. Pen tool's easy to use in the curvature tool for me. Yeah, I think it just, you know, it just depends what kind of, what people are used to. Get Dan's going to get you gut chicken and lots of wine. We'll just ply with wine and gin. Actually, no, you're not meant to mix. Yeah. Is gin, what is that? Is that grain? You don't mix grape and grain? I don't know. One of those. Wine and whiskey, not a good combination. Definitely not if you chuck a bit of sambuca in there. Ugh. Also, gin is horrible. The suspense is palpable. Yeah. We'll say I'm confident. I'm confidently optimistic. Okay. Where the flippin' heck do I start? Right, well, we're going to start with the middle. This should be easy because it's just an oval and ellipse. These points, the extreme points, should be quite clearly marked. So we should be able to... We should, he says, be able to nail this pretty easily. So again, I'm holding shift. I might just throw these points down actually, really quick. So as long as they're vertical like that, does not matter. Click and drag, horizontal. That doesn't have a bezier on the other side. So if you need to, just grab the anchor point tool and then convert it. So that's the important thing, is that we've got the handles in the right place. Okay. These two don't look in line, so I'm going to select both of them and just align those anchor points. There you go. You see that shift? In fact, I'm going to just measure. Right, where's that halfway point? So we're going to go minus 50%. Yeah, there we go. So I just want to make sure they are actually halfway for this top part of the G. So it's in the right place now. All of this crap, this is easily fixable. So we're just clicking and dragging with shift. Oh, there's another technique I might try actually. I don't know if it will work better or not. I'm just going to move this out of the way. I want to try something. I know I've just spent like ages getting the anchor point placement right. We'll throw a guide down. Yeah, there we go. Should have done that before. What about if I just... do this? I quite like this technique sometimes. because you're just throwing down the anchor points. They're straight. Obviously, that's not right, but you get them in the right place and then use the anchor point tool. And then you're bending out from both sides. So everything is just kind of balanced right from the start. Although it's interesting with the shape of this, it doesn't look to be like a perfect ellipse. Like, have I mucked something up here? Because I was looking at these handles at the top and going, they're not the same. Do you know what I mean? Like, unless I didn't get that first anchor point in the middle. No, like, yeah, look. I moved that out from both sides equally, but this part of the letter. So, you know, I'm obviously not a typographer, but maybe that is something specific to this style of G that I clearly don't understand. So if anyone would care to explain that, that would be marvelous. Anyway, let's put back the version that I was working on. Hi, Dan. I'm a big fan of you. Hey, thank you. Well, I'm glad you could join us today. Not symmetrical. Okay, right, my mistake. I just looked at it and my simpleton mind was like, that'll be symmetrical. But I'm guessing, obviously not for typographic related reasons. Move you down a tiny bit. Oh no, that's right. Right. That looks pretty good, I think. Just pull you down a little bit there. Maybe the position of the anchor point might need to shift left. Yeah, so sometimes it's kind of like you actually can't get it in the right place. So you have to shift the anchor point position. There, look at that. There we go. So just moving the anchor point slightly to the left. That was the fix in this case. Oh, really? Okay, this is pretty good. I mean, and that is a really good point, actually. I could just throw down an ellipse here, but it might not actually be like a symmetrical ellipse. So, okay, I'm going to start from this point here. So we've got a straight point. And there we go. The curve flattens out. We're clicking and dragging with shift. All the way down here, we're going to get, yeah, so about there. That's where it changes direction. So we're clicking and dragging with shift. Let's just get a few anchor points in and we'll come back and fine tune it. So here we've got a little bit of a, this is a tricky one. Bit of a change in direction. So there's another change in direction there. So maybe something like this. So I think half the battle is being able to identify where those is this making sense? Can you see where those areas are? So here we're following curves, and it's if the curve flattens out or if it changes direction. So again, curve, curve, curve. It sort of flattens here and reaches that point. Click and drag with shift. Again, down here. And then we're curving up. This bit here looks to be sort of flat. Again, we're on an angle, so we're not going to go up or like that. We're going to follow the curvature of the line. Is this straight? It looks pretty straight. And then it starts to curve. There we go. Flattens out here. Boom. Goes around this curve. So again, but these are the nice easy ones. Okay. So we've done a bit there. We'll go and correct all of this now. Just so people joining think, like, what is this guy doing? That's awful. So there we go. Up. Direct selection tool, we're just dragging down with shift. Now we're going to pull it out here. Yeah, that's pretty good. This bit here kind of flows nice and smoothly. Right, this one here, hold shift and pull that out. That one's good. Then we're going to pull you in and you up. The hardest bit is going to be coming back on the other side and making that parallel. Now, I would use other techniques and tools to make it parallel normally, but seeing as the challenge of using the pen tool has been set, it's going to be harder than normal. And then this one here. So we're just holding shift. Remember, we're not doing this, none of this. Woohoo. Although the good thing is actually, because we have the Beziers on both sides, those handles, sorry, on the both sides of the curve, if I change one on one side, it does change the other one. So it does make it easier to get smooth curves, because if you change one side, it will automatically adjust the flow on the other. Okay. Hey, Zakir. I think so, Adrian. Yeah, it just depends how people prefer to work. You know, I'm sure if this technique resonates with you and you practice it and get very familiar with it, I'm sure you'll be just like blah, 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 blasting through it all in no time. But sometimes, yeah, half the battle is figuring out where the points go. So once you put them in the right place, then it's just, you know, getting all the curves done. So here, remember, we're not going to carry this on like this because it draws a straight line. We have to click and drag and hold shift and effectively create the other half of this Bezier curve. Right. And if you switch tools as well, it will forget. So as I just did there. Right. So it tapers off and flattens about there. So we'll try and speed this up a bit now, actually. I'm going to try and work a bit quicker. Get that in there. We'll zoom in just to make sure I get it in the right place. Flattens out there. Flattens there. Flattens there. These ones are quite tricky, actually. These, knowing how to deal with these. What I would normally do is something like this. I would kind of go like that, and then around there. And this does get the job done. You know, you can go and smooth that out. It works. But again, we're creating that additional anchor point that we ideally don't want to. So the goal with all of this pen tool stuff is the fewer anchor points, the easier it is to edit. So how the hell am I going to do this? What about... Ooh, this is a tricky one. Would it go there? Yeah, that looks about right, doesn't it? And then where would the next one go? Would it go here on that vertical? And then we'd have another curve. Oh, hang on. Yeah, I'll fix this one first. We're coming back now. Yeah. Okay. Fixie time. There we go. Clicking and dragging with shift. Yeah, that's turned out all right. Adrian, how could you? Oh, amazing. Thank you very much, sir. Hey, Jesse, how's it going? Right. Okay. We're coming back now. I feel like we're halfway done. We're coming back. It's going well. I'm feeling good. Big old curve. Where's it flattening? This is something else that is like, I think when it comes to typography, and if we've got any typographers in the house, please do let me know. My inclination is to, oh, well, these points should line up. But to get the lettering right typographically, that's not going to always be the case. Because if we remember, we're looking for that point where the curve flattens out, which is actually here. So lining up certain points for other parts of the letter, not necessarily always the right thing to do. Right. Let's go. Flattens out around there. Click and drag. Okay. Oh, I missed a giant curve here. How on earth did I do that? I mean, I gotta be honest, this technique makes it easy to pen tool anything. There we go. So we're just switching from pen tool to direct selection tool to adjust those curves. Nice. Uh-oh, we got we got the hard bit coming up. Okay. What do you reckon my chances are on the hard bit? Are you feeling lucky, punk? Okay. So here what we could do actually is I can click and drag, and then I can, yeah, there we go, get that in position, and then hold Alt or Option. Oh no. Oh no, I can't do that. That's annoying. I was going to try and redirect the curve. So that would kind of go to about there, and then it's flat. It's a tricky one. What about, okay, let's try something different. So it kind of flattens out around here. What about if I just click there and then use the anchor point tool to push this into place? Yeah, that works. I think. I hope. Please work. Yeah, it's pretty close, isn't it? And then it kind of takes out that need for another anchor point. So then this one has like a tiny little straight bit, I think. And then it tapers out about there. Click and drag with shift. And then it curve, 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 curve. Stops there. So we're doing vertical. We'll do these one at a time, I think. And I'm going to even make this even narrower just to check the line work. Yeah, I'll try and get this as tight as possible. Okay. Check Discord. Oh no. 97%. Hey, I'll take 97. I'm good with that. Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, what with the grid lines? Oh, so have you just, hang on, have you just done that while we've been doing this one? Oh my god, that's a lot of grids. That makes my head hurt. So what would, hang on, let me show people this. So you'd lay down the grid and where would you add those grid lines? Would you add them to where you intend to put the anchor points? So you'd figure out where the extreme points are on the curve, yeah? Hang on, let me... copy. So that's with the grid line, and then this is all of the anchor points. Oh, okay. So you just put the guides there, and that kind of tells you exactly where to put them all. Nice. Okay. Interesting. Oh, I see. Yeah, I guess if you put those guides down, you know what they... Oh, yeah, I can see. Every guide kind of hits a certain part, doesn't it? Just because I've not seen it before, I'm just like, oh my god, so many guides. Oh, I'll have to try that one next. I mean, this looks very, very precise. Oh, nice. I like that. Let's sling that over there for later. Right. Okay, holding shift. This one's at a bit of an angle, actually, so bit of an odd one going to a point. So I'm just going to pull that in. And then we'll start from here with another straight one. Going up. And all the way around. Oh, Illustrator wants to snap to everything. Okay, let's bring that down. There you go. It is beautiful, isn't it? It's like seeing, it's like art, seeing all of those points and everything. Okay, so we've got another change here. So if I drag that out, flattens out here. And then we've got another one of these. So it kind of comes all the way up here. Oops. There. Going down here. Yeah, we'll bring you out. And then you down there. So once you get the anchor points in place, it just makes everything so much easier. So, okay, Raquel, do you think adding the guides makes it significantly easier, or does it make the follow-up process of actually creating it faster for you? Like, what I'm trying to ascertain is, like, is it worth the time investment of adding the guides? Do you see that return in terms of, saving a lot of time or getting a more precise outcome? Totally. Okay, interesting. Cool. Oh, we are getting there. We are getting there. Coming back down. I think actually that is a straight shot all the way back to the start. Yeah. Is that gonna... Sometimes it is a bit of a, you have to play around. So make that one lower, pull this one in. Yeah, there we go. As long as you're holding shift when you're dragging those points, you're all good. Okay. Oh, this has been so much fun. This has been a lot of fun actually just using the pen tool. You know, normally I'm just like using it to just get shit done. I'm like, I gotta make something, just blah blah blah. But this has actually been really fun. Just trying to get everything super precise. I feel like this bit here could be a little bit more precise. Does that width change? No, it does change, so it's not a constant width. No, so that is right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so there we go. That would be enough of the trace. And then swap the fill and the stroke, punch it out. No, you're not going to let me knock it out. Oh no, got to send that behind. This should be in front, and then boom. Well, blow me down. And of course, I could then go and refine this further and tweak any curves. Bloody hell. Well done, me. And thank you for all the tips and pointers along the way as well. That has been really helpful. Oh, that's so cool. Thank you very much. Yours too, Raquel. Chin chin. Got to run. This is my first time checking the live. Many years of watching Dansky, joining Discord. Oh, amazing. Awesome. Hey, see you soon. Utterly satisfying. Yeah, that's how I would describe it, Jesse. I've really enjoyed this. You can select the inflection points by placing marks and then pressing Shift C. Yeah, I think we did that a few points around here. There's a couple different ways to do it. Like, I think we sort of... Was it the first one we demonstrated that with? So we added the 4 points around the outside and then did 2 on the inside, but just we used the anchor point tool with Shift C just for the inside, just to kind of demo the 2 different ways of doing it. And I do like the anchor point tool because it's great. You can just like, you know, lay down all your main points and then you can just grab that and then, you know, go in and add all your curves and things and do whatever the heck that is. Cool. Right. Yeah, I mean this K as easy at this point after doing that thing. That is a lush G. I do like that. Superb lesson. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions or would you like any additional demonstrations or anything? Thank you, Elaine. I mean, I do feel like I want to go and design something, some lettering or something that I can then pen tool. Maybe do like a monogram and link a couple of letters together. That would be cool. Oh. Right. Thank you, Raquel. That is a very good point, Robert. Yeah. Where's the stylus gone? Yeah, we could go through and delete any unwanted points. So, I mean, are there any that immediately come to mind? No, not that one. Yeah, I suppose there are probably some. I mean, I think something like this, I probably. Oh, I suppose maybe. Yeah, maybe something like that. It does change the shape a bit, but yeah, I see what. Oh no, I see what you mean. Actually, yeah, yeah, that one. That doesn't need to be there. That, with a bit of tweaking, would be just fine. What's the shortcut for that tool? Minus. Yes. All right, Dan. We'll do the guides in a minute as well. That's Raquel's technique. We'll have a go at that. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. No, I suppose actually, yeah. When you actually look at it, there's a lot of points that don't need to be there. So, God, it's amazing how many you don't actually need. Oh my God. Yeah, look, even this one. Oh no, that one. Yeah. Nice. Very good, Robert. Oh, I've not had a chance yet to play around, Elaine. It's been Course City for the last few weeks. I'm hoping to have a little bit more of a play around very, very soon. Because yeah, like, you know, things like that. If I were to if there is a tool where I can literally just take something like this and go boom, clean it up, I ain't gonna say no to that. Right. Let's have a look at the guides thing. So this is what Raquel did. And Raquel, you can tell me if I do this wrong. Let's get a. Actually, no, let's just do it here. Let's just do it here. Right. We'll make a new layer for this. Call it guides. So we're just going to drag down to every single aspect. I mean, it must be useful because you did that bloody quick. So these bits as well, maybe? I suppose as actually no, I guess as well it gives you something good to snap to. Because I'm doing this with a shape in Illustrator, but if you were tracing like over something that wasn't made up of anchor points, Illustrator's not going to snap to it. So I guess having the anchor points in the right place means that it will snap to it. Okay. I'm checking we've not missed anything. Oh, I need to work on a logo or something now. Actually, no, I feel like I kind of want to work on something more illustrative. Maybe. I don't do a lot of illustration, but I do love it when I do it. And I would love to just make a beautiful illustration. Just something I can look at and be really proud of. And I love working in Illustrator as well. All right. We're getting there. We're getting there. Oh, what, the plugin? Yeah, we've got the members meetup tomorrow. Oh, I don't know if I'll have enough time to demo it on that. I got to get my head around it at the minute. There's so many tools. Oh, it's just finding the time, honestly, at the minute. I'm very much someone who is either working up here or completely burned out down here. And after that last I think few months really of just me and Pops have been absolutely flat out finishing the courses and getting everything together. It's been just, it's been exhausting. We're both pretty cooked. So it's nice to kind of come back and work on something a little bit different. In fact, does anyone else like? I feel like design burnout is something that obviously creators experience, but creators as well in like YouTube and all that. Like, I feel like people who create things, burnout is like a thing. But have any of you figured out a way to just, instead of operating it here and then burning out down to here, just to function at this level so you never burn out? You're productive, you get stuff done, but you never actually burn out. Because I seem to operate at extremes. I don't know if that's just me. But that is always a thing. Yeah, I'm just like, my brain's just like, is there a way to just not burn out, you know, but still get stupid amounts of stuff done, you know? Like, there's just so many things. There's always so many things to do. Like, Poppy helps with the editing, which is amazing. But there's so many other things like planning content and thumbnails and designs and it adds up. Just, yeah. I mean, back in the day, it used to be juggling multiple projects, and it's hard sometimes. I've been teaching myself how to use Illustrator, and it's amazing. All the things it can do, and most importantly, simplify your work in so many ways. Oh yeah, Illustrator is amazing. It's really useful if you run a business as well to be able to learn something like this, because you can actually bring so much stuff in-house. I usually try to give myself a week in between things to recharge and play video games. Nice. What are you playing at the minute, Moosh? If you're not stacked with work. I usually go like 3 weeks at a time of designing at work and then freelance at home. What? Sorry. So you do 3 weeks and then you do freelance, or you kind of do 3 weeks, you do work and freelance for 3 weeks and then take a break? Dan, if you don't mind me asking, there are some logos that looks like they're done freehand. It looks like a sketch. How are they doing that? Is there a special effect for that? Ooh, what kind of... Do you have any examples? If there's a particular logo that comes to mind. I feel like I know what you mean, but I'm not 100%. Yeah, is it the sort of... Oh no, I think I do know what you mean, actually. It's the kind of logos that I see a lot for like a country shop or something, and you'll have like an illustration of the shop, and there'll be like lots of line work, lots of hatching, that kind of thing. Is that what you mean? Oh, really? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll check that after, Raquel. It's been so therapeutic to watch, and I really appreciate the distraction. Oh, you're very welcome, Elaine. It's a break from the chaos of work. I do work and freelance for 3 weeks, and then usually take a break from the freelance. Can't have a break from work. I know. That's why I thought I'd ask. Guys, I'm a boss person. I'm just taking a week off. You can do that? I'm not playing anything right now. Super busy with work, freelance, and being part-time at home nurse for my sister. Oh, how's she doing? Is she recovering okay? Art galleries specifically use that a lot in their style of logos. Oh, I know. I want to see one now. Is there like a logo or like an example that comes to mind? I feel like I know what you're talking about, but I just want to be 100%. Right, let's stop drinking the coffee, Dan. It's 5 o'clock. You would like to sleep tonight. Cat's gone to sleep now. It's funny, I thought it'd be noisier. Right. See, this is what happens when I don't have Poppy here. Okay, if anyone would like to check out my Illustrator Masterclass, there is a link there. Yes, it took me that long to get the proper link. Poppy! But my sister and mum are recovering well from the surgeries. The last few weeks have been nothing less than chaotic. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I can't even imagine. Both at the same time as well. Like, could you not have just spaced it out a little bit? You hanging in there though, yeah? God, juggling taking care of family, work, and freelance. My goodness. Okay, so I guess once you've done this, I'm not going to do the whole thing again. Don't worry. I'm just having a play. I'm a little bit disappointed actually. I feel like I beat the final boss a bit too easy, and do you know what I mean? I would have liked it to be a bit more challenging. Oh no, I suppose yeah, this is quite quick actually when you got the points. Yeah, it really is just placing the points in the right place. Once you've got the points in the right place, that is like most of the work. Okay, I lied. I'm going to speedrun this. I want to put this to the test. I think we are putting this to the test, actually. I think you are 100% correct. And yeah, I'm kind of using what Robert was saying as well. You don't need all those anchor points. I'm just trying to remember which ones I got rid of now. There are definitely a few. Yeah, I'm just going to go around the main outside bit. Well, I think that was considerably quicker. Now we just got to refine it all. Yeah, I think it definitely gets easier the more you use it. You're pretty good, pretty tight. Turn up the volume. Anyone else feel the same? Microphone too quiet. I can whack it up a notch. Do 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 do. Oh yeah. Yeah, this has definitely made the process somewhat quicker. I mean, obviously, the first time round was practicing and kind of walking through it a bit more, but this has definitely helped speed things up. Let's go pull you down. Pull it. Oops. Oh, I mucked it up there. Yeah, you got to keep them horizontally and vertically lined up. Yeah, it definitely gets easier when you practice figuring out which handle to pull on to get a better result. Sometimes one needs pulling out and being longer, and one needs to kind of go down a bit. Boom. Right, we're just going to throw in a few more. And my guides. One, two, three, four. There we go. Ha! Very good, Raquel. Very good. That was considerably quicker. Sorry, I got carried away there. Oh, I've deleted my... Have I? Oh, no, it's... There we go. Whew. I was gonna panic then. Yeah, guides, definitely a good shout. Oh, that was fun. How can I send you the link? Jesse, are you in the Discord at all? All right, I'll crank the yeah, you shouldn't have to boost your volume. I'll bump the mic up a little bit. Oh, sorry. It's normally on like +5 or something. It's not. Hang on. Right, there we go. +10. How's that? Is that a bit better? Hello. Testing. Yeah, so in the stream description there should be a link. Yeah, on OBS it says it's peaking. Like the audio is going into the red as if it's like sounding horrible and clipping, but hey, if you guys say it sounds good, we're good. Yeah, in the link for the what are we saying, Dan? In the stream description. Sorry, I had a noise. In the stream description, there should be... It's outside. In the stream description, there should be a link for the Discord. So if you want to join the Discord, if you've got questions, you want to share your work, chat, hang out with us lot. We're all a bit weird, but it's all good. Then, yeah, free to join. And yes, and then you can obviously share links and things as well. So I would like to see this logo. Da, 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 da. Is your mum at the window? No, she's not, Raquel. I think I might have mentioned before that I've moved the studio back home. So this setup now is in the dining room. This is my new studio. I'll show you. It's a bit... It looks all right, actually. We've got a lion back over there on the loo. We got some knickknacks and that book up there, which was recommended by Elaine. Thank you very much. LED light, multiple cups and things. So this is going to be like the new sort of setup, and I'm looking forward to making some more videos with it. Now we're out of Course City. So yeah, if my mum was at the window, she would have had to have either climbed over the fence or she snuck in the garage to get to the back door. I mean, I wouldn't put it past her, to be honest. That would be slightly hilarious. Oh, yeah. I've still got that picture, Raquel. The one that... I'll show you. She absolutely loved it. She couldn't believe. So this is Raquel's handiwork of the course recording process. So there's me sat at the desk. We've got Poppy in the basement. We've got 2 cats, and I think that's 2 children. I'm not sure why one of my kids is blue, scrubbing the floor, but... And there's me mum at the window. You're right, Dan? So this picture, Raquel, has got like a prized place on the shelf up that you probably can't see, but it's just there. Boop, boop, tickle, tickle. Priceless illustration. I know. Do you know the thing that threw me? My mum secretly got that printed, and I was just so stunned when she gave it to me, because I was just looking at how, like, my brain couldn't process how she'd acquired the illustration from Raquel. Like, I couldn't make the connection. I was like, but Mum, how do you know? You don't know what a Discord is. I didn't realise that Poppy had sent her the JPEG and she got it printed. It like short-circuited my brain. Yeah, I was. I was just, yeah, I was just stunned. I couldn't make the connection of how you, the illustration, and my mum had somehow connected to make this happen. Just short circuited my brain. Yeah. Moosh. So Poppy, Raquel obviously posted it. Poppy sent it to my mum, and my mum secretly went and got it printed and framed and gave it to me. She was like, "I've got something for you, Dan," and presented that, and I didn't. I was just completely speechless. Flipping brilliant. And now it has a prized place on the shelf. It's not silly. It's a work of art. With my blue child scrubbing the floor. I can't find your Discord. Oh, goodness. That means I've got to try and find it now. Let me see if I can find the Discord. Hang on. There you go. I'll post it. I'll make it easy. As long as I share the right link. No. That's not the right link, Dan. There we go. So if you sign up there, you should get an email to join the Discord, like an invite link. Oh, hello, 2 steps away. Yeah, we're kind of wrapping up, but it's good to see you. We'll be doing more streams this week. Don't ye worry. And if you're a course member already, we've got the meetup tomorrow at, I think it's 3 o'clock UK time. I'm pretty sure that's the time I sent out. So if anyone has anything they want to cover in the meetup, so I know Moosh, Raquel, and Elaine, hopefully you'll be there if you can make it. But if you've got anything you want me to cover, you want me to open up some of your work or go over anything from today, honestly, fire it over. I'd love to get stuck into something like a project or something. I'd love to get stuck into something. Or we could do some more pen tooling. Yeah. So it's gonna be good fun. Oh, hopefully. Are you still live? I do believe so. Oh, you'd be joining on the sly, Moosh. Oh yeah, no, I forget. What is it? It's 3 o'clock. Michigan. What's that? 5 or 6 hours, isn't it? Something like that, I think. Oh, that's okay, Nick. But yeah, if you do have anything, honestly, fling it on over. Oh, what was I going to say? Oh, I get this a lot now. Something pops in my brain and then it goes. Oh yeah, no, I was just going to say. Normally we do the meetups on a weekday, but I'm not averse to doing it at a weekend. So if a weekend would be better for everybody, just with work and stuff, then just give me a shout. We could do the next one at a weekend if that's easier for people. You could just sit back and do it from the garden, really. Have a nice glass of wine or a whiskey or something. That'd be nice and chill, wouldn't it? I have a UK clock on my desktop now. Excellent. Hmm. All right, yeah. I think we'll do the next one on the weekend. We could do a barbecue or something. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Are you still accepting new members for the community? Yeah, the community is free to join. Anyone can join the community. And then if you enroll in any of my courses, then you get access to like a members only area where you can ask questions, get feedback from me, just kind of essentially get more support. Oh, that would be so good. I know, yeah. I mean, in my head, Raquel, it sounds like a good idea. I know what would happen though. It would be like me on camera and then just smoke and like yesterday we put we have a table outside that we're going to chuck anyway, and we had these disposable barbecues, you know, the disposable foil trays, and we just put 3 of them out there, had some burgers sizzling away, and Poppy was like, it's going to be a fire hazard. It's going to be a fire hazard, Dan. And I'm just like, no, just put them on there. It's fine. We're going to get rid of the table anyway. Just like, who cares? It's just whatever. Just cook the burgers. And about 30 minutes later, she's out there and she comes in and goes, oh, there's a fire outside. It's just like, what? By the time we got out there, I was kind of disappointed the fire had gone, but it had just like left these big black burn marks where they've just kind of seared that heat into the desk. It was a bit disappointing though. She made it sound like there was like an actual fire and there were flames and everything, and obviously by the time we got out there it was like, all right, I'm here now. Where's the fire? But it was funny. Yeah, I'm making myself hungry really, actually. I don't think we've got any burgers, which is unfortunate. Can you read about Sarah Destralachi? Oh, okay. Hang on. All right. Let me just get my chat GPT up, because as you can imagine, I'm not familiar with this particular brand of cheese. Okay. I feel like we need the oh, it's a Portuguese cheese. Hang on, we need the elevator music. It's not the same otherwise. Hang on. I'm going to get copyright claimed, but I don't care. This is important. These details matter. Okay. Serra da Estrela cheese is a rich, creamy Portuguese cheese made from raw sheep's milk in the Serra da Estrela Mountains. Known for its smooth, buttery texture and strong, earthy flavour, it's traditionally spooned when young... Wait, what? When young and becomes sliceable as it ages. Oh yeah, I forgot a cheese could be young. It's one of Portugal's oldest and most prized cheeses. There you go. You're welcome. I feel like we learn something every week about cheese. I always feel sorry for people that just join at that moment and they're like, what the hell is this? Oh God, Moosh! Chat cheese PT. Get out of here. That's worse than the crap I'd come out with. Oh yeah, Jesse, sometimes the email might go into your junk spam folder. Or it might just take a minute to come through. I think it can be a bit slow. Was that good, yeah? Yeah, is that a good description of the cheese? It might just take a minute, Jesse. I think we've had a few people have to wait a little bit. If it doesn't come through in the next hour and you really can't find it, send me an email here and I'll figure out a way to fire you back an invite somewhere. Right, I should probably go and interact with my children now. And I think I've got a massage with Poppy actually soon. She's gonna give me a massage. Oh, someone's just sent me an entire email which looks like it's in either Spanish or Portuguese. How bizarre. A cheese segment is the best. Yeah, that's what we're all really here for, Moosh. Just that cheese segment at the end. Oh, font self's amazing. So yeah, I haven't used it in a while just because I haven't made a font, but I just flipping love that plugin. Yeah, I've not even got it installed. It's somewhere. I'll have to find my license key for it. Honestly, it's so good. I wish I had it installed to show you. I have a video on my YouTube channel for Font Self. It's got like a red thumbnail, but it's amazing because you can literally just make your letters, your whole alphabet, and then essentially you just have to drag it into the Font Self panel. You can drag them all in, all the characters like en masse, and it will figure out which one's which. And then you just, I think it's got a feature for like auto kerning. So you can automatically get it to adjust the kerning between pairs of letters and then go ahead and tweak it if you need to. But then literally like a few clicks, boom, you've got a live working font and you can then start typing with it in Illustrator and then refine it more. Honestly, it's so flipping brilliant. Like I'm sure if you were to go with like, there's obviously some font software out there that I think Glyph is one I've heard of that might be more extensive. But I mean, like for me personally, I can show you now if I've got them installed, which hopefully I have. There's a few fonts that I've made. These are actual working fonts. Hello, Sans. No, it's called Dan Sans because obviously. Lol, lol, hello. Hello. Yeah, unfortunately this plugin doesn't improve your ability to spell. Spartan Sans, so a monospace font. Sparta! Flippin' love this one. It's good for stacking with that mono spacing. And then there was another one that I think might have been inspired by the Cybertruck. I think when that first came out, I can't remember. I feel like it was around that time it came out, and I was like, ooh, I like some of the angles in that weird looking vehicle. I'm going to try and turn that into a font. So again, monospace, sort of similar. Very similar, actually. But a few more angles in a few different places. Hello. Yeah, and you can do uppercase, lowercase, different weights. Anyway, I don't want to sound like a sales pitch, but it's very, very good if you're new to making fonts and you just want to kind of have your own characters, drag them into a panel, and then boom, you got a working font. It's very good in that respect. You don't need a lot of experience. Oh, hello. Bright Mate Art. Okay, hang on. I've got that stupid elevator music in my head now. So, yeah, this sort of logo. It's kind of hard to see the detail. I can kind of imagine what it's like. Yeah. I think, I mean, from what I can make out here, you'd probably start with the basic hand shape, slice it up into different sections, and then have a bunch of different splats and drips and things, and then manually position them. Or I guess something you could do is if you, let's just draw a really quick hand here. Actually, there are a few tools that would be quite useful for this logo. Now, because of my style, I don't really use these tools ever. There we go. It's my mega hand. I quite like that, actually. Well not done. So you could take this, and if you were going for something, as it says, more handmade, a bit more artistic, you've got a suite of tools under here, like the warp tool. And you could shrink this down. Oh, this behaves in a way. This is horrible. Yeah, there we go. Such a weird. And then you can kind of make it smaller and just warp, quite literally, certain bits. So you can do that to give something like a more handcrafted feel, and then obviously those bits are horrible. Smooth tool over it, and then boom, you're good to go. Pencil tool's really good if you wanted to redraw some splats. and a few bits and pieces. That looks like, oh my goodness, that looks like a little ghost having a dance. Definitely need a pair of eyes. This is amazing. Should have been an artist, see. Not entirely sure where we're going with this, but we're going to keep going. Hey, how we doing? How's it going there, boy? Wasn't what you asked, but anyway. Yeah, so you can use the pencil tool to redraw curves. There's lots of other tools down here as well. Twirl tool, that's a little bit extreme, but if you use it very, very carefully, it's still utterly useless. What else? Ah, the wrinkle tool. Yeah, if you want something a bit more rough and kind of handmade, it's obviously using it very like extremely at the minute. But if you double click it, you can drop down the intensity and it will just kind of operate at a slightly less intense way. So those tools can be quite useful if you really just want to get down and dirty and hand sculpt something like that. Or you could do a splat for the actual hand bit. What are we doing? So like a splat. There we go. And just fill that with white. That's a oh my goodness, that's not even a splat. That is like another little dancing ghost, but this time with a pair of legs. Do do do, yeah, boy. No 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 no. Oh, I think I've peaked at this point. Oh, thank you, Nick. Yeah, I love, yeah. Oh, font cell's brilliant. Yeah, no, it's so good. I don't even think it's that expensive. I think it's relatively affordable. Font cell plugin. At least it used to be just like a, purchase it once, own it forever kind of deal. I'm just going to look it up now. Oh, there's an iPad version as well. Desktop, get it now. They used to do it for Photoshop and Illustrator, but I never tried it in Photoshop. Yeah, the Illustrator version of FontSelf, one-time fee, £29. That's like, I don't know, $40 or something. You can get the bundle with Photoshop as well, but yeah. Yeah, I mean that's pretty damn good. For what you get and the fact you just own it forever, like I love that. Now it's looking even better, that ghosty hand. I'm not sure what happened here, Raquel. Clearly I got a bit excited and carried away as per usual. Oh. You sent me another one, okay. I think something like this technically isn't very difficult. I think conceptually it's probably harder. Technically, to get something like looking like this, I'd probably do it with the pencil tool, if I'm honest, and I wouldn't even have the smoothness all the way up. I'd probably bring it down, so you get like a little bit of that hand-drawn rough imperfection in there. So if I were to try and do something like this, just do it really rough. Obviously this is crap, but and then once you've done it, you could vary the line width of certain elements. So maybe these few, you wanted to make them bigger. And then if you go to the brushes panel, you've actually got other brush styles in there as well. So You could round the caps so you kind of get those nice rounded ends. Or you could change the brush type if you wanted something a bit more kind of like a pencil or charcoal. And you've got all these different brushes here. You've got calligraphic brushes. Yeah, chalk, charcoal. Bit more on the extreme side, but you can still reduce the width as well. So if you wanted something quite literally that felt hand-drawn, like it was drawn with a pencil, but you still want to work within that sort of vector realm, then and have everything scalable, then something like that could look pretty good, you know. Obviously not what they've done here, but there we go. Anyway, let's get rid of all this crap. Amazing. I'm going to go and look at my kids now, have some dinner, and try not to think about burgers. This has been bloody fun. Thank you to everyone who submitted designs for upcoming streams as well. I've got a bunch. By the way, if you're in the Discord and you want to submit your work for a chance for it to be either reviewed live or redesigned live, I'm going to probably be doing a bit more of that lately, the redesigning side of things, because I just love getting stuck into something for a couple hours. We're probably going to do some more of that later this week as well. It is a good price, isn't it? It's very reasonable. You got a license back in 2019. Yeah, I can't remember when I got mine. It was a long time ago. Yeah, I should probably message them and say, can I have my license key? I've lost it. It's probably on an email somewhere. I'm drawing a fluke fish in a sketchy way for a logo. What on earth is a fluke fish? Oh my goodness. Huh. Well, I learned something about cheese and fish today. I'm drawing a fluke fish in a sketchy way for a logo. Oh my god. Well, if you feel so inclined, I would love to see that when it's finished. Just looking at the fish and then looking at that style. I'd love to see how you tackle that. Yeah. What the bloody hell's a fluke fish? Oh yeah, it's been so fun. It's been so fun. We'll do another one in the week sometime. I need to just figure out days and things. Maybe we'll do one at a different time as well. Maybe we'll do like a morning one or something, just so some more people could maybe join the streams. I have to do it today, tomorrow, so I sure will show you when I'm done. Yes, please do. I really want to see it. That's going to be good. Right, amazing. I'm obviously terrible at saying goodbye, as you probably know by now, so I'm just going to say bye in song. And yeah, have an amazing day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.